In the silence of the cosmos, amidst the ebb and flow of galaxies, stars, and time itself, lies an ancient truth, a set of universal principles that govern the very fabric of existence. These are not just laws of physics, but the hidden rhythms that shape our lives, our relationships, and the world we inhabit. They are the 12 laws of the universe. From the microscopic to the cosmic, everything around us dances to a beat we can't always see, yet we feel its presence. These laws, known to sages and seekers for millennia, are more than abstract ideas. They are the invisible forces that shape our reality, that influence the choices we make, and guide us through the uncertainties of life. Beneath the surface of the world we see, there lies a secret older than time itself, a secret that binds the very fabric of reality together, the universal law of oneness. It is the invisible thread that weaves all things into a singular existence, an eternal force flowing through everything. From the hum of the stars to the beat of your heart, it is the pulse of the universe. This law, unspoken yet profound, whispers the truth that all is one, that you, the trees, the birds, the wind, the stars, are not separate. You are, in essence, all interconnected, a unique expression of a single cosmic force. All things are born from the same source, share the same breath, and are destined to return to the same origin. The ancients knew this truth. In the teachings of the Vedas, in the wisdom of Taoism, in the sacred geometry of the Egyptians, across all cultures, across all time, they spoke of this oneness, the one that is in everything and beyond everything. In the stillness of the moment, we can feel it. The universal law of oneness reveals itself not in words, but in the patterns of life. It lives in the fractal geometry of nature, the spirals, the cycles, the interconnectedness. It is the symmetry of the galaxy mirrored in the patterns of a sunflower. It is the laws of energy, vibration, and frequency that govern both the largest and smallest realms of existence. As science uncovers the quantum fabric of the universe, it speaks of entanglement, of particles that are so deeply connected that they influence one another across vast distances. Is it not a reflection of what the mystics have long known, that the universe is not a collection of isolated parts, but a living organism in constant communion? To understand the law of oneness is to transcend the illusion of separation. It is to awaken to the knowledge that each thought you think, every action you take, ripples through the interconnected web of existence. You are not an isolated being. You are a spark of the divine, a note in the symphony of creation. When we remember this, when we awaken to this truth, we unlock the hidden power of unity. And from this unity comes peace, not only within ourselves, but within the world. The sickness of separation, of war, division, and chaos can only be healed when we realize that the same life force flows through us all. When we act as stewards of this great web of life, we align with the deepest truth of existence. This is the universal law of oneness. It is a call to return to the heart of all things, to remember that we are not separate, but part of an eternal flow of life, love, and light. The universe does not divide, it unites. It does not isolate, it embraces. And in this union, all things find their true purpose. We are one, and in this oneness, we are infinite. The law of vibration, the symphony of creation, and the path to tranquility. In the quiet moments before dawn, when the world is still draped in the hush of slumber, there exists a melody. It is soft yet potent, an unseen symphony that hums through the very fabric of existence. This melody is the law of vibration, the fundamental force that shapes our reality, the invisible pulse that dictates the rhythm of all life. Everything in the universe, from the smallest particle to the grandest galaxy, vibrates at its own unique frequency. And it is within this vibration that the potential for creation, transformation, and tranquility lies. The law of vibration asserts that everything, including thoughts and emotions, is made up of energy vibrating at varying frequencies. Nothing is truly still. Even objects that appear solid and unchanging are constantly in motion, emitting vibrations that align them with the cosmic flow. This law teaches us that the vibrations we emit, through our thoughts, words, actions, and energy, directly influence the reality we experience. The idea is simple yet profound. Like attracts like. Our thoughts and emotions vibrate at frequencies, and similar frequencies are drawn to us. Negative thoughts and emotions emit low-frequency vibrations, creating discord in our lives, while positive, harmonious vibrations invite peace, love, and tranquility. The law of vibration, then, is not just a cosmic principle. It is a tool that we can use to consciously shape our experience of reality. Consider a tuning fork. When struck, it vibrates at a specific frequency. If you bring another tuning fork of the same frequency close to it, the second fork will begin to vibrate in harmony, even without being touched. This is the power of resonance. Similarly, our thoughts and emotions act as tuning forks, emitting vibrations that either attract or repel certain experiences into our lives. We are constantly in a state of resonance with the universe. When we are in harmony with positive, high-frequency energies, we create a life filled with joy, peace, and abundance. When our vibrations are discordant, we experience chaos, stress, and challenges. Our reality, then, is not shaped by the circumstances of the world around us, but by the vibrations we consciously or unconsciously emit. Tranquility, that deep inner peace that feels like the calm between the waves, is not a destination. It is a state of being, a vibrational frequency. Achieving tranquility requires aligning our inner vibration with the peaceful rhythms of the universe, silencing the mental chatter, and tuning into the stillness that exists beneath the noise of everyday life. To walk the path to tranquility using the law of vibration, one must first recognize the power of their own energy. The journey begins with becoming aware of your current vibrational frequency and learning how to raise it to a level that resonates with peace. Before you can shift your vibration, it's essential to understand where you are starting from. Begin by observing your thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations. Are they calm and centered, or are they chaotic and tense? Check in with your emotions. Are you feeling stressed, anxious, or overwhelmed? These emotions are lower frequency vibrations. Observe your thoughts. Are they scattered or negative? Negative thought patterns vibrate at a lower frequency, contributing to mental unrest. Scan your body. Tension in your body often signals that your vibration is out of sync with tranquility. By acknowledging your current state, you take the first step in realigning your vibrational frequency. Once you've observed your current vibration, the next step is to consciously shift your thoughts and emotions to a higher frequency. Positive thoughts, feelings of gratitude, and loving kindness naturally elevate your vibration. Practice gratitude. Start each day by listing 3 things you are grateful for. Gratitude resonates at a high frequency and attracts more of the same energy into your life. Affirmations of peace. Speak words that resonate with tranquility. I am calm. I am at peace. I am aligned with the stillness of the universe. Say them out loud and feel their power in your body. Shift negative thoughts. When you notice negative thoughts, consciously replace them with thoughts of harmony. For example, if you're thinking, I am overwhelmed, change it to, I am calm, and I can handle anything with ease. The more you intentionally focus on positive thoughts, the more your energy field will begin to resonate with these high-frequency vibrations. Breath is the bridge between the mind and body, and it is also one of the most powerful tools for shifting your vibration. By controlling your breath, you can calm your mind and raise your vibrational frequency to match the energy of tranquility. Deep breathing. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and take slow, deep breaths. Inhale for a count of 4, hold for 4, and exhale for 4. With each breath, imagine you are inhaling calm and exhaling tension. Breath of peace. As you breathe, silently affirm, with every breath, I invite peace into my body and soul. Feel the vibrations of peace fill your being. This simple practice will help you shift from a state of inner turmoil to a state of quiet serenity. Your environment plays a significant role in shaping your vibration. Surrounding yourself with tranquility will help your energy naturally align with peace. Create a peaceful space. Declutter your environment. A tidy, harmonious space naturally supports a tranquil vibration. Add elements like soft lighting, soothing music, or calming scents, lavender, sandalwood, to enhance the atmosphere. Connect with nature. Spend time outdoors in nature where the natural vibrations of the earth are at their highest. Walk barefoot on grass, listen to the wind, or meditate near a body of water. Nature's vibrations will help you recalibrate your own. The more you immerse yourself in peaceful surroundings, the easier it will be to attune your own vibration to tranquility. Meditation. There is an ancient truth woven into the very fabric of existence, a truth so profound yet so simple that its impact is beyond measure. It is the law of correspondence, the understanding that the patterns and principles of the universe are reflected in all aspects of life, from the grandest galaxies to the smallest atom. The old adage, as above, so below, as within, so without, beautifully encapsulates this law, suggesting that what we experience on the outside is merely a mirror of our inner world. The law of correspondence is not just a cosmic principle, but a tool, a map that can guide us toward transformation and mastery of our reality. When we realize that our outer world reflects our inner world, we understand that by shifting our internal state, our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs, we can change the external circumstances of our lives. And one of the most potent ways to harness this law is through the power of visualization. Visualization is the gateway to manifesting our deepest desires, whether they be abundance, wealth, health, or tranquility. It is through the vivid imagery of our mind's eye that we plant the seeds of what we wish to create, and the law of correspondence works in tandem with this process to bring our inner visions into tangible form. The law of correspondence teaches us that everything in the universe operates in harmony, following universal principles. There is no separation between the micro and the macro. Every part of the universe reflects and is connected to every other part. It is this inherent unity that enables the process of manifestation to work. Consider your life as a reflection of your thoughts and energy. If you look closely, you will see that the circumstances you find yourself in are often in direct correspondence with your internal beliefs. For example, if you believe that abundance is scarce and hard to attain, your external world will mirror that belief, making it difficult for you to manifest wealth. On the other hand, if you hold the belief that abundance is limitless and flows effortlessly into your life, that belief will be mirrored back to you in the form of opportunities, wealth, and prosperity. Similarly, your physical health is an outward expression of your inner state. If you harbor thoughts of illness or weakness, your body may reflect those thoughts. But if you visualize vibrant health, vitality, and well-being, your body will respond accordingly, creating a reality where good health flourishes. Thus, the law of correspondence reminds us that everything begins within. The external world is merely a reflection of the state of our inner world, and this inner world can be transformed through the power of visualization. Visualization is the key that unlocks the door to this transformation. It is the process of using your imagination to create a mental image of what you want to experience in your life. The images you hold in your mind become the blueprints that your subconscious mind begins to work on, aligning your energy with the frequency of what you desire. Clarify your desire. Before you can begin visualizing, it is important to have a clear understanding of what you want to manifest. Is it financial abundance? Is it vibrant health or a deep sense of tranquility? Be specific in what you desire. The clearer your vision, the more powerful your manifestation. For example, if you wish for wealth, imagine not just the number in your bank account, but the lifestyle it brings. The freedom to travel, to invest in your dreams, to help others, and to live a life of joy and security. Create a sacred space. Find a quiet, peaceful space where you can focus your mind without distraction. It could be a comfortable chair, a quiet corner, or a serene spot in nature. The environment you create will support the clarity of your visualization. Relax and focus your mind. Close your eyes and take several deep, slow breaths. With each exhalation, allow your body to relax more deeply. This relaxation helps quiet the mind and prepares it for the vivid imagery you're about to create. Visualize your desired outcome. Now, with your mind at ease, begin to vividly imagine the reality you want to create. Picture the details in your mind as clearly as you can. See yourself living in abundance, feeling healthy, experiencing success, and enjoying tranquility. Engage all of your senses in the process. Imagine what it would look like, how it would feel, what you would hear, and even the smells and tastes that may be associated with your vision. For example, when visualizing good health, imagine yourself waking up full of energy, feeling strong and vibrant, and engaging in activities you love. When visualizing abundance, see the flow of money coming to you in unexpected ways. Feel the excitement of receiving financial gifts, and imagine the joy of sharing that abundance with others. Feel the emotion. This step is crucial. As you visualize, allow yourself to truly feel the emotions associated with your desired outcome. If you're visualizing wealth, feel the excitement, gratitude, and peace that come with financial freedom. If you're visualizing health, feel the vitality and joy that comes with a healthy body. The emotions you feel will amplify the vibrational frequency of your visualization, aligning it with the universe's energy. Affirm and believe. While visualizing, affirm the reality of your desires. Say to yourself, I am worthy of abundance, I am healthy and vibrant, or I am at peace with the world around me. These affirmations strengthen your belief in your visualization and imprint them deeply into your subconscious mind. Trust the process. Finally, after your visualization session, trust that the universe is aligning everything for you. Let go of the how and surrender to the process. The law of correspondence will begin to work in your favor, and you will start seeing the external world shift to match the new inner landscape you've created. Tranquility, like all desires, begins within. The law of correspondence teaches us that the state of peace we seek in the world around us can only be reflected by a corresponding inner peace. The more we visualize tranquility in our lives, the more we align ourselves with the frequency of calm, serenity, and harmony. Visualization, in this case, serves as a tool for centering your mind and emotions. By creating a mental image of a peaceful, tranquil life, you begin to attract peaceful experiences into your reality. The external circumstances that once caused stress, anxiety, or turbulence will begin to shift as your inner world becomes more peaceful. The vibrations you emit of calmness, ease, and balance will resonate with the universe, and it will respond by bringing more tranquility into your life. To achieve tranquility, it is essential to visualize a life that feels harmonious. Picture yourself surrounded by calm, flowing energy, free from chaos, free from worry, and at peace with the world around you. Allow these mental images to saturate your consciousness, and over time, they will begin to manifest as an inner stillness that radiates outward. The law of correspondence reminds us that we are not separate from the universe, but intrinsically connected to it. Our internal world shapes our external reality. By using the power of visualization, we tap into this law, aligning our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs with the energy of abundance, health, and tranquility. In the quiet spaces between breaths, when time seems to pause and the universe whispers its secrets, there lies an invisible force at work. It is a force that shapes our reality, that pulls together the threads of our desires and weaves them into existence. This force is the law of attraction, the profound truth that we attract into our lives, that which we focus on, that which we believe, and that which we align our energy with. But there is a secret to harnessing the full power of this law, one that many overlook. It's not enough to simply desire something. It is essential to let go of resistance and trust the process. Trust that the universe, in all its vastness, is guiding you to the experiences and realities you seek. It is in the act of surrender, the release of doubt and fear, that you unlock the true magic of manifestation. The law of attraction is not just about the power of thought, it is about the alignment of energy, the shedding of resistance, and the faith that what you desire is already on its way. This law is not about wishing for something and waiting for it to magically appear. It is about aligning your thoughts, emotions, and actions with the energy of what you want. When you can raise your vibration to match the frequency of your desires, whether that is wealth, good health, or tranquility, you are opening the floodgates for the universe to deliver what you seek. But the key to unlocking this power lies not in pushing or striving, but in releasing resistance and trusting the process. Resistance is the force that blocks the flow of manifestation. It is the doubt, fear, and disbelief that create a gap between where you are and where you want to be. Imagine a river flowing toward the sea. If there are rocks or obstacles in its path, the flow becomes disrupted. Similarly, when you hold on to negative beliefs, worry, or impatience, you are creating resistance, blocking the natural flow of your desires. The most important step in using the law of attraction is learning how to let go of resistance. This means releasing the need to control how your desires manifest, trusting that the universe knows the perfect timing and path for you. When you let go of the how, you make space for divine timing and synchronicity to work their magic. Letting go of resistance involves several key practices. 1. Release doubt. Trust that the universe is always working in your favor. Doubt is one of the most powerful forms of resistance. When you doubt that your desires will manifest, you are essentially telling the universe that you don't believe in its ability to deliver. Instead, practice affirmations of faith. I trust that all my desires are coming to me effortlessly. 2. Embrace patience. The universe operates on its own time. Trust that everything is unfolding perfectly, even if you cannot see the full picture yet. Patience is a vital element of the manifestation process. It is the quiet knowing that the universe is aligning everything you need for your greatest good. 3. Release control. Control is another form of resistance. We often feel the need to micromanage how our desires should appear. However, the law of attraction works best when we surrender our attachment to specific outcomes and allow the universe to surprise us in beautiful ways. Let go of your grip on how things should unfold and allow the universe to guide you. 4. Cultivate gratitude. Gratitude is a high-frequency emotion that dissolves resistance. By practicing daily gratitude, you align your vibration with the energy of abundance. When you focus on the things you are grateful for, you create a magnetic field that attracts more of the same. To manifest abundance, wealth, good health, and tranquility, you must trust the process. Trust that the universe is always bringing the right people, opportunities, and circumstances into your life. This trust is the surrender that frees you from the burdens of anxiety and fear. It is the knowing that everything is unfolding in divine timing. Manifesting abundance and wealth. When you focus on abundance rather than lack, you send out vibrations of prosperity and flow. Imagine your life as a vast ocean, abundant and limitless. When you trust that there is more than enough for everyone, you align yourself with the universe's infinite wealth. Instead of focusing on how much money you don't have, turn your attention to the abundance that already exists in your life. The love of friends and family, the opportunities in your career, the beauty of nature. The more you focus on what is working, the more the universe will send you opportunities to receive even more. Manifesting good health. The law of attraction also governs the energy of health. When you trust in your body's ability to heal and thrive, you align your energy with vitality and wellness. Visualize yourself healthy, strong, and vibrant. See your body filled with energy, free from illness, and functioning optimally. The more you focus on the feeling of perfect health, the more the universe will reflect that energy back to you. Trust that your body knows how to heal and release any resistance that tells you otherwise. Believe in your body's innate ability to maintain balance and vitality. The more you practice surrendering and trusting the process, the more you will witness the magic of the law of attraction in your life. Each moment of doubt that you release, each act of faith you nurture, will bring you closer to the manifestation of your deepest desires. In this cosmic dance of letting go and trusting, you will find not just wealth or health, but a deep, unshakable tranquility that arises from knowing that you are always in the perfect place at the perfect time. The law of inspired action, flowing with the rhythm of life. In the heart of a quiet forest, as dawn breaks over the horizon, there is a certain magic in the air, a subtle hum, as though the universe itself is breathing in unison with the earth. The trees sway in perfect rhythm with the wind, the flowers bloom in time with the seasons, and the animals move with an effortless grace, as though they are all responding to an invisible call. This is the natural rhythm of life, the pulse of the universe. It is the same rhythm that guides the tides of the ocean, the cycle of the moon, and the beating of our hearts. Within this rhythm lies a profound truth. We are not separate from nature. We too are part of its cycles. And when we learn to move in alignment with these natural flows, we unlock the power to manifest our deepest desires: abundance, wealth, good health, and love. This is the essence of the law of inspired action. The understanding that manifestation is not just about thinking and wishing, but about taking action that is inspired by the universe, guided by intuition and in harmony with the natural cycles of life. The law of inspired action teaches us that while our thoughts and desires shape the energy we emit, it is our actions that bring those desires into the physical realm. But not just any action, inspired action. Inspired action is not forced. It is not the result of pushing or striving. Instead, it is a natural, intuitive step that arises when we are aligned with the flow of the universe. It is when we listen closely, trust deeply, and move with the same ease and grace as the trees swaying in the wind or the ocean waves lapping at the shore. Imagine a river, clear and abundant, flowing toward the sea. It does not fight against the natural contours of the land. Instead, it moves in perfect harmony with its environment, carving its path effortlessly. The river doesn't try to force its way. It simply follows the course set by nature, trusting that the water will find its way to its destination. Similarly, when we align ourselves with the law of inspired action, we begin to manifest abundance and wealth by flowing in harmony with opportunities as they arise, instead of forcing our way through obstacles. When we act in alignment with our true desires, when we follow the nudges of inspiration, the little sparks of creativity and intuition, we attract abundance effortlessly. A business idea that arrives with a sense of ease, a new connection that feels destined, a financial opportunity that seems to appear out of nowhere. These are all the fruits of inspired action. We do not chase wealth, we simply align with it, responding to the gentle prompts of the universe. Our bodies, like nature, are governed by cycles. There are times for rest, times for growth, and times for action. The law of inspired action tells us that when we act in alignment with our body's natural rhythms, listening to its needs, honoring its signals, and nourishing it with care, we manifest good health. When we feel the inspiration to take a walk, to eat something nourishing, or to sleep deeply, these are the inspired actions that lead us toward vitality. Just as the seasons change without force, our health flourishes when we trust the natural flow and take inspired steps to honor our bodies. It is not about striving for perfection. It is about moving in harmony with the cycles of life, giving our bodies what they need, when they need it. Love, too, is a natural force, a current that runs through the universe. It flows effortlessly, like the wind, touching everything it encounters. The law of inspired action shows us that to manifest love, we must first allow ourselves to be open to it. The more we align with the natural flow of love, through kindness, through vulnerability, through compassion, the more love we attract into our lives. When we trust our intuition and act from a place of genuine connection, we begin to draw in relationships that resonate with our true essence. A smile, a kind word, a spontaneous gesture. These small acts of inspired action carry the frequency of love, and they ripple out into the world, drawing love back to us. In every moment, the universe is whispering to us, guiding us toward the right actions that will bring our desires into being. Inspired action does not come from force, but from a quiet knowing, a deep sense of alignment with the natural cycles of life. The more we trust this inner guidance, the more we move in harmony with the world around us, and the more effortlessly our desires manifest. Just as the moon does not rush to rise and the flowers do not hurry to bloom, we too must learn to move in rhythm with the universe. When we let go of the need to control every step and instead trust the timing of life, we find that everything falls into place. Abundance, wealth, good health, and love all flow toward us, guided by the gentle pull of inspiration. The law of perpetual transmutation of energy, the infinite flow of creation. Long before the first written words were etched into the walls of ancient temples, before the stars above us were named, there existed a profound, sacred understanding of the universe, a secret whispered through time, hidden in the folds of nature's fabric, passed down by sages, mystics, and wise elders. This knowledge was the law of perpetual transmutation of energy, a universal truth that states energy is neither created nor destroyed. It is in a constant state of transformation, flowing from one form to another, forever in motion, eternally alive. In ancient Egypt, the priesthood held the secret in high regard, teaching that the very act of creation itself was an ongoing, unbroken flow of energy. They understood that everything in the universe, from the grandest pyramids to the smallest grain of sand, was born from the eternal transmutation of energy. Energy could be shaped, transformed, and directed to manifest the material world. What was once an invisible force could be molded into physical matter, and what once seemed solid could dissolve back into the ether. The wise monks of Tibet too carried this ancient knowledge, embodying it in their daily practices. They understood that every thought, every action, every vibration carried energy that could be transformed. They used this principle to transcend the limitations of the body and mind, aligning themselves with the natural rhythms of the universe. In their sacred rituals, they channeled this energy to manifest not just their spiritual desires, but also abundance, health, and harmony in their communities. Even today, in the heart of our modern world, this law continues to govern every particle, every atom, every vibration. It is the foundation of all creation, the invisible hand that shapes our world and guides us to manifest the life we dream of. But the key to unlocking its power lies in understanding how to use this perpetual flow to our advantage. It starts with awareness. The energy we send out into the world, through our thoughts, words, and actions, has the power to create our reality. If we focus on lack, fear, and limitation, that is the energy we invite into our lives. But when we align with the energy of abundance, health, wealth, and love, we begin to transmute our circumstances into something greater. Wealth at its core is energy. The abundance we seek is already here, flowing through the universe, circulating in the air, the earth, and the sea. But if we hold on to beliefs of scarcity or lack, we block the flow of this energy. To manifest abundance, we must first transmute our energy by shifting our mindset. Visualize a river of golden light, representing unlimited abundance, flowing freely toward you. See yourself standing in the middle of that river, allowing the light to wash over you, feeling its warmth, its power, its infinite supply. As you do, you transmute your energy from one of lack to one of receiving. You align your frequency with that of wealth, and the universe, responding to your vibration, begins to reflect it back to you in the form of financial opportunities, successful ventures, and the ease of abundance. Health, too, is a transmutable energy. Every cell in your body vibrates at a certain frequency, and when that frequency is in harmony, health flourishes. But when your energy becomes imbalanced through negative emotions, stress, or unhealthy habits, your body begins to show signs of disharmony. To manifest good health, you must first transmute the energy of illness or imbalance into that of vitality. Close your eyes and picture your body bathed in a brilliant light, a healing energy that penetrates every cell. Visualize every part of you vibrating with vitality, your immune system strong, your body in perfect harmony. As you hold this vision, you send out waves of healing energy, and the law of perpetual transmutation of energy works to bring your body into alignment with health and wellness. Love, too, is an energy, a beautiful, radiant vibration that connects us all. However, many of us hold old, limiting beliefs about love that block its flow, creating barriers between us and the love we desire. These beliefs may come from past hurts, fears, or feelings of unworthiness. To manifest love, you must transmute the energy of fear, doubt, and separation into the energy of openness, trust, and connection. Imagine yourself surrounded by a soft golden light of love, flowing through your heart and extending outward, touching every person, every relationship in your life. Feel the warmth of this love and see it radiating out to draw more of it back to you. The more you align with this energy, the more love will find its way to you. In ancient times, the great masters knew that energy could not simply be wished into existence. It required an understanding of the natural cycles and rhythms of life. Just as the seasons change and the sun rises and sets, so too must we flow with the energy of the universe. We must learn to align with the energy we wish to manifest. When we move with the natural flow of life, without resistance or force, we begin to attract what we desire effortlessly. This is why meditation, visualization, and intentional action are powerful tools in the manifestation process. They allow us to clear out old, stagnant energy and make space for the new. As we stand at the center of this perpetual transmutation of energy, we become the creators of our own reality. Every thought, every emotion, every vibration that we send out into the world carries the power to shape our lives. When we understand that energy is always in motion and that we too are part of this vast and infinite flow, we realize that we are co-creators of our own destiny. In the vast tapestry of existence, where stars swirl in distant galaxies and the pulse of life beats in every corner of the universe, there is a silent, ever-present force that shapes the way we experience reality: the law of relativity. This universal law teaches that everything in our lives exists in relation to something else. What we perceive as good or bad, rich or poor, happy or sad, is not an absolute truth. It is simply a reflection of our own perspective, our comparison to something else. And in this art of comparison lies the key to shaping our experience, to transforming our reality, to manifesting abundance, wealth, good health, and love. In the ancient teachings of the East, it was said that the world is but a reflection of the mind. The perception of our world is shaped by the lens through which we choose to see it. The law of relativity reminds us that nothing is fixed, nothing is permanent in its essence. It is through mindful reframing, shifting our perception of how we relate to our circumstances, that we unlock the true power of this law. Imagine, for a moment, two people standing on opposite ends of a hill. One sees the view as breathtaking: the endless horizon, the vibrant colors of the setting sun, the sweeping landscape that stretches for miles. The other, however, feels only exhaustion, resentment, and struggle. To the first, the climb was worth the reward. To the second, the journey has only been a burden. And yet, both stand at the same peak, looking at the same view. The difference lies in how they choose to frame their experience. This is the essence of the law of relativity. Our circumstances, no matter how they appear, are only as good or bad as we perceive them to be. What might seem like a challenge can be reframed into an opportunity for growth. What may appear as lack can be reframed as a stepping stone toward abundance. The art of mindful reframing is the practice of consciously shifting our perception to see the higher truth in every situation. Instead of seeing challenges as obstacles, we can choose to see them as opportunities for expansion. Instead of viewing wealth as something out of reach, we can reframe it as energy, something we are already in constant exchange with. The journey toward abundance and wealth is often filled with moments of doubt and comparison. We look at others and measure our success against theirs. The law of relativity tells us that such comparisons are illusions. Wealth is not defined by a specific amount of money in your bank account, but by your ability to recognize the abundance that already exists around you. It's not about measuring against others, but seeing the richness in every moment, in every opportunity. By practicing mindful reframing, we shift from scarcity thinking to abundance thinking. Instead of focusing on what we lack, we begin to see the endless possibilities of what we already have. We realize that wealth is not confined to material possessions, but is present in the abundance of love, health, opportunity, and experience. We start to see wealth as a state of being, and when we align our thoughts with this understanding, the universe responds by bringing us more of what we perceive as abundant. The body, like the mind, can be a field of infinite potential. However, when we focus on illness, pain, or limitation, we fall into the trap of seeing ourselves as broken or fragile. The law of relativity teaches us that our experience of health is relative to how we view our bodies. When we constantly compare ourselves to the idealized images of perfect health, we may feel as though we fall short. But through mindful reframing, we can choose to perceive our body differently. Imagine looking at your body not as something that requires fixing, but as a vessel of incredible strength and resilience. Every challenge, every symptom becomes an invitation to heal, to learn, and to grow stronger. The simple act of reframing your body's current state from something lacking to something whole and capable can ignite a profound shift in your health. By focusing on what is working, on the vitality and strength that exists within you, you send powerful signals to the universe that you are already healthy, whole, and radiant. In matters of love, too, the law of relativity plays a pivotal role. We often compare ourselves to others in relationships, wondering why we are still single or why our relationships are not flourishing. But the law teaches us that love is not something to be measured, and it is not defined by any particular moment or relationship. Mindful reframing in love means seeing love as an energy, not something that is found or lost, but something that already exists within us, waiting to be expressed. Instead of focusing on what we don't have in a relationship, we can reframe our thoughts to focus on the love that is already present. Love for ourselves, love for others, love for life. When we shift our focus from what we are lacking to what we are grateful for, we begin to attract more love into our lives. It is through the simple act of reframing, of choosing to see our lives, our relationships, and ourselves through the lens of love, that we become magnetic to the very love we desire. We realize that love is not a destination, but a journey that begins within. The law of relativity tells us that the way we experience the world is not fixed or permanent. It is fluid, ever-changing, and deeply influenced by how we choose to perceive it. Through mindful reframing, we have the power to transform our reality. By choosing to see abundance where others see scarcity, health where others see illness, love where others see loneliness, we align ourselves with the infinite flow of creation. In every moment, we have the choice to shift our perspective. We have the power to change our relationship with our circumstances and to choose the meaning we attach to every experience. By practicing this art of reframing, we unlock the universe's boundless potential to manifest everything we desire. Not because we are changing the world around us, but because we are changing the way we relate to it. And in this shift, we become the creators of our own reality, attracting abundance, wealth, good health, and love, simply by seeing the world through the eyes of possibility. This universal law tells us that everything in existence has its opposite, and that within this balance of opposites lies the key to all manifestation. Day and night, light and dark, joy and sorrow, these are the poles that define our experience. And just as the tides of the ocean rise and fall, so too do we navigate the dance of opposites, flowing between them in harmony. It is in this flow that the Buddha found the path to enlightenment, and it is within this understanding that we too can unlock the ability to manifest wealth, health, and love. Imagine a single moment, a breath held between two extremes, the cool silence of night and the warm promise of daybreak. The Buddha, in his deep meditations, often spoke of the inherent unity of opposites, how one cannot exist without the other. Without darkness, light would be meaningless. Without suffering, joy would lose its depth. The law of polarity reveals that all experiences, no matter how contrasting, are part of the same whole. Each extreme holds a seed of its opposite within it, and in recognizing this, we find balance. The key is not to resist the opposites, not to reject the darkness when the light dims, nor to fear the quiet moments of stillness when we long for action. Instead, the Buddha taught us to embrace the flow between these poles, understanding that each shift, each ebb and flow, is part of the dance of life. Wealth, like all things, has its opposites: poverty and abundance, scarcity and plenty. But the Buddha's wisdom teaches us that true wealth is not about accumulating more material possessions. It is about the inner balance between the two poles of wealth and lack. The more we can embrace the polarity of wealth, understanding that abundance and scarcity are two sides of the same coin, the more we align ourselves with the energy of prosperity. In times of financial struggle, instead of resisting the experience of lack, we can embrace it. By acknowledging the feelings of scarcity without judgment, we create space for abundance to enter. The Buddha often meditated on the impermanence of all things, reminding his followers that everything, including wealth, is in a constant state of flux. The more we embrace this flux, the more we invite wealth to flow freely to us, for we are no longer attached to one side of the polarity, but are fluidly moving with the current of life. Wealth is not a destination, it is a rhythm, the rhythm of giving and receiving, of abundance and restraint, of knowing that both scarcity and plenty are temporary states in an eternal cycle. When we flow with this understanding, wealth naturally comes to us, not as a reward, but as a reflection of our alignment with the natural rhythm of life. Health, too, is governed by the law of polarity. Within the body, there is the balance of energy and rest, of action and stillness, of vitality and recovery. The Buddha taught his followers to honor their bodies as temples of the soul, to care for them with mindfulness and compassion, understanding that health is not merely the absence of illness, but the harmonious balance between the two poles of energy and restoration. When we face illness, instead of seeing it as an enemy, we can embrace it as part of the natural cycle. Sickness, like health, has its purpose. It serves to show us the areas of imbalance within our lives. By acknowledging illness without fear or resistance, we can restore balance within the body, for every ailment contains the seed of healing. The Buddha believed that mindfulness was the key to health. By being fully present in each moment, by listening to the body's needs and responding with loving kindness, we align with the natural cycles of vitality and rest. In doing so, we create a state of flow where health is not something we struggle to attain, but something we naturally embody. Love, the greatest force of all, is also a dance of opposites. Without the contrast of loneliness, the warmth of love would be less profound. Without the sadness of separation, the joy of union would lose its brilliance. The Buddha taught that love is not a fixed destination, but a state of being, a state that flows freely like a river, constantly shifting and changing, yet always flowing toward connection. In relationships, we often encounter the polarity of love and conflict. Instead of seeing conflict as an obstacle, the Buddha encouraged his followers to see it as an opportunity for growth. Conflict is not the absence of love. It is the very thing that allows us to understand love's depth. By embracing the contrast between love and its opposite, we are able to transform the challenges in our relationships into opportunities for deeper connection. The Buddha's teachings on compassion and forgiveness are rooted in this understanding of polarity. By embracing the fullness of love, both its light and its shadows, we allow love to flow freely, without judgment, without attachment. When we let go of the need for perfection, we create space for love to flow in all its forms, in all its expressions. The law of polarity is not a law of resistance. It is the law of balance. By understanding and embracing the flow of opposites, we align ourselves with the natural cycles of the universe. The Buddha's wisdom shows us that the more we accept the full spectrum of life's experiences, the joys and the sorrows, the wealth and the lack, the health and the illness, the more we allow the energies of abundance, wealth, health, and love to flow toward us. The key is not to fight against the ebb and flow of life, but to dance with it, to find peace in the middle of the polarities, knowing that all experiences are temporary and ever-changing. When we embrace the flow of opposites, we allow life to unfold naturally, and in this natural unfolding, we find everything we seek. The Buddha's path was one of understanding, of embracing the full range of experience, and through that deep acceptance, he found peace, wealth, health, and love. In the same way, when we learn to embrace the law of polarity, we unlock the ability to manifest all that we desire, for we are no longer bound by one side of the coin, but free to move with the flow of life's infinite possibilities. In the heart of the universe, a hidden rhythm pulses through everything. A beat as old as time itself, a melody woven into the fabric of existence. This is the law of rhythm, a universal truth that reminds us that everything in life moves in cycles. The seasons change, the tides ebb and flow, and the heart beats with a steady pulse. Just as music flows through time, so does life follow a rhythm, one that moves us through moments of quiet stillness and bursts of exhilarating motion. The ancients knew this truth well. In ancient cultures, from the beat of the drum in Africa to the melodies of the East, sound was revered as the key to aligning with the universe's rhythm. The Buddha himself spoke of the natural flow of life, how each moment has its own rhythm, its own beat, and how by aligning ourselves with that rhythm, we could live in harmony with the universe. Sound is the manifestation of rhythm. It is the most tangible expression of vibration, the rhythm of life made audible. When we listen to the world around us, the hum of the wind, the rustling of the trees, the heartbeat in our chest, we are hearing the rhythm of the universe. Everything has its own unique sound, its own unique frequency, vibrating at a particular rhythm. Consider music. It is the perfect embodiment of rhythm, weaving together moments of silence and sound into a coherent, harmonious flow. Just as a song moves from one note to the next, from one phrase to the next, so does life move from one experience to the next. The law of rhythm teaches us that every moment is part of a larger symphony, and when we align ourselves with that rhythm, we enter into a flow that propels us toward our desires. But how do we tap into this rhythm? How do we harness the flow of life to manifest our deepest desires? Wealth, health, and love. Wealth, like the rhythm of a song, is not static. It moves in cycles. There are times when the music of wealth plays loud and fast, and there are times when it seems to slow down, retreating into quiet spaces. The key is to understand that wealth is not just about accumulating material possessions. It is about attuning yourself to the flow of abundance. When we align with the rhythm of abundance, we recognize that wealth, in its many forms, is already flowing through us. During times of plenty, we celebrate the rhythm of success, enjoying the harmony of prosperity. But when the rhythm slows, we do not panic. Instead, we use that time to prepare, to fine-tune our intentions, and to align with the rhythm of creation once again. Just like a song that dips into a quiet, restful moment before rising into a powerful crescendo, wealth flows in cycles. And when we honor these cycles, we allow the rhythm of abundance to carry us forward. To manifest wealth, one must practice attuning their thoughts to the rhythm of abundance. This can be done through sound itself, the power of chanting, affirmations, or listening to frequencies that promote prosperity and success. By aligning with the energetic frequency of wealth through sound and rhythm, we amplify the flow of financial opportunities. The universe moves with us when we move with it, when we match our energy to the rhythm of abundance. Health, like wealth, has its own rhythm, a rhythm that ebbs and flows with the cycles of the body. The law of rhythm teaches us that health is not simply about maintaining a steady, unbroken state of vitality, but rather about learning to move with the rhythms of our body, mind, and spirit. The breath, the heartbeat, the sound of a steady pulse, all of these are reminders of the internal rhythms that govern our health. When we align ourselves with these rhythms, we can move from states of illness to states of healing. A person who practices mindfulness, listening to their body's needs, and working with the rhythms of rest and activity, nourishment and exercise, is attuned to the natural flow of vitality. The Buddha taught that mindfulness of the body, being present with the rhythms of your breath, your heartbeat, your movements, is a path to enlightenment and health. When we listen to the sounds of our body, we can detect imbalances, and through sound healing techniques like chanting, singing bowls, or even simply being in tune with our breath, we can bring ourselves back into balance. Health is about moving with the rhythm of life, acknowledging the low notes and the high notes, the times of rest and the times of action. Love, too, moves with the rhythm of life. It flows in and out, expanding and contracting, moving between hearts in a dance of connection. To manifest love, we must first learn to listen to the rhythm of our own heart, to understand the flow of our emotions, and to move in harmony with the vibrations of love that surround us. The Buddha, in his teachings on compassion and loving kindness, showed us that love is a frequency that flows outward from the heart. By aligning ourselves with the rhythm of love, by practicing compassion, understanding, and openness, we tap into the universal flow of affection and connection. Just as music can fill a room with warmth, love fills our lives when we allow ourselves to be open to it. When we move in tune with the rhythm of the universe's most powerful force. Love, like sound, requires attunement. When we focus on the sounds of love, the kind words, the tender touch, the gentle affirmations, we draw that energy to us. The rhythm of love is a dance, a melody that calls to us and asks us to join in. By listening to the rhythms of love within ourselves, we create a resonance that attracts more love from the world around us. The law of rhythm teaches us that life is not a straight line, but a dynamic, ever-changing flow. In the silent expanse of the universe, a timeless rhythm unfolds, an unbroken thread that links every action to its consequence, every choice to its outcome. This is the law of cause and effect, a universal truth that governs all that is. What we sow, we reap. What we give, we receive. It is a law as old as time itself, and within it lies the powerful force of karma, the invisible hand that guides the ebb and flow of cause and effect. Karma, often misunderstood, is not merely a system of punishment and reward. It is the very fabric of life, woven into the choices we make, the words we speak, and the energy we put into the world. In every moment, we are creating our reality, not just for ourselves, but for everyone and everything around us. Like a pebble dropped into a still pond, each action creates ripples that spread far beyond our immediate sight. These ripples are the effects of our causes, and they return to us in ways we might not always expect. Imagine a person standing at the edge of a field, looking out into the vast horizon. They make a choice, a decision that seems small in the moment, but one that will eventually shape their future. Perhaps it's a word spoken in kindness, a gesture of love, or a moment of forgiveness. Each choice, no matter how seemingly insignificant, creates a ripple in the fabric of existence. This is the law of cause and effect in action. It's a law of balance, of equal exchange, where every cause brings forth an effect. Yet in the dance of life, it is karma that helps to guide this law, for it is the spirit of what we send out into the world that returns to us in kind. When we choose to act with integrity, with compassion, or with love, the effects that ripple back to us are often a reflection of that same energy. But when we act out of fear, greed, or malice, the effects we receive can be just as potent, not as punishment, but as a reflection of our own inner state. Karma is not a judgment from the universe, but a return to us of the very energy we have put into motion. Take a moment to think of someone who has shown you kindness, perhaps without expecting anything in return. Their actions have rippled through your life in ways they may never see, but their kindness has had a profound effect on your heart. In turn, you too become a vessel for that same energy, passing it on to others. This is the power of karma and the law of cause and effect. The circle of good that perpetuates itself, creating a world of beauty and light. But the law of cause and effect is not only about positive actions. Every action, whether good or bad, creates an effect. The universe responds to our choices, sometimes in ways we cannot immediately perceive. It is said that karma doesn't always show its face immediately. Sometimes it takes time for the effects to manifest. Just as the growth of a tree is slow, so too is the unfolding of karma. When we act out of impatience, judgment, or hurt, the effects might not be immediate, but they will find their way back to us. The law of cause and effect ensures that we cannot escape the consequences of our actions, not as punishment, but as a reflection of our own energy. The beauty of this universal law is that we always have the power to shift our energy, to realign our actions, and to transform the cycle of karma. Karma, in its purest form, is an invitation to become aware of our actions and their impacts. It reminds us that we are not isolated in our choices, but interconnected with the world around us. The law of cause and effect, guided by karma, weaves us all together in a delicate balance, where every act of kindness creates more kindness, and every act of harm invites healing. As we move through life, we are not merely passive observers. We are dancers in the grand ballet of existence. Every step we take, every movement we make, sends ripples through the universe. By choosing to act with love, integrity, and compassion, we become the architects of a better world, one where the effects we create are as beautiful as the causes we set in motion. In the grand tapestry of the universe, there is a law as old as time itself, the law of compensation. It is a universal truth that reminds us that life always returns to us what we give. It is the balance, the equilibrium, where every action, thought, and gesture creates its own reward or consequence. It is the law that governs the exchange between effort and result, the sowing and reaping of our energy, and the way the universe mirrors our own actions back to us. But there is more to this law than mere transactions. The law of compensation does not simply operate on what we do, but on the quality of how we do it. It listens not only to the actions we take, but to the intent behind those actions, and the sacrifices we make in the process. It is the quiet art of giving and receiving, and the universe responds to us, not just with material rewards, but with gifts of growth, understanding, and transformation. At the heart of the law of compensation lies self-reflection. In order to receive, we must first look inward, to examine what we have given, what we have sacrificed, and what we have truly offered to the world. Reflection is the mirror in which we see the true nature of our actions. Are we offering with an open heart? Are we seeking to create or to take? The universe, in its infinite wisdom, responds to the truth we carry within. Self-reflection allows us to align our intentions with our actions, ensuring that what we give out into the world is a true reflection of our desires. It is only when we understand ourselves fully, our desires, our weaknesses, our strengths, that we can offer with authenticity. And when we offer with authenticity, the universe in turn compensates us in ways both profound and subtle. But self-reflection alone is not enough. The law of compensation also calls for accountability. It is not enough to look inward. We must also look at how we interact with the world around us. The universe does not reward neglect or inaction, nor does it reward the avoidance of responsibility. Instead, it honors those who hold themselves accountable, who take ownership of their actions and the consequences they bring. When we are accountable for our choices, we tap into the deeper flow of the law of compensation. We acknowledge our role in the creation of our reality, and in doing so, we open the door to greater rewards. Accountability is the bridge between intention and manifestation, between thought and action. It allows us to move with integrity, knowing that what we put into the world will come back to us, not as a mere exchange, but as a reflection of our commitment and responsibility. And then there is sacrifice. It is the quiet, often unseen energy that fuels the law of compensation. Sacrifice is not about loss, but about offering something of value without expectation, knowing that the universe will honor it in time. It is the moment when we choose to give of ourselves without reservation, whether in time, effort, or love, trusting that the return will come in its own form at the right time. Sacrifice is the seed that grows into abundance. It is the giving without looking back, the release of attachment to outcomes, and the trust that what we offer from a place of pure intention will always find its way back to us. The universe responds to sacrifice with gifts of its own, often in ways we could never have imagined, and sometimes in ways more beautiful than we could have hoped for. At the core of the law of compensation lies offering, the conscious act of giving without expectation of receiving. To offer is to open ourselves to the universe, to acknowledge that we are part of something larger than ourselves. Every act of kindness, every gesture of love, every moment of compassion is an offering that creates a space for more blessings to flow into our lives. When we offer from the depths of our heart with genuine love and selflessness, the universe responds in kind. The more we offer, the more we open ourselves to receiving. And in this cycle of offering and receiving, we align ourselves with the rhythm of the universe. And the law of compensation rewards us with the fruits of our labor, our intention, and our heart. The law of compensation is not merely a law of give and take. It is a cosmic exchange, a dance of energy between what we give and what we receive. It teaches us that every act, no matter how small, has its ripple effect. Through self-reflection, accountability, sacrifice, and offering, we become active participants in the dance of the universe, co-creators in the manifestation of our desires. When we give with clarity, when we hold ourselves accountable for our actions, when we sacrifice with grace, and when we offer with love, we unlock the deepest rewards of the universe. It is in these moments that we find abundance, health, and love, not because we sought them, but because we chose to align ourselves with the eternal flow of compensation that mirrors the best of who we are. In the end, the law of compensation is not just a law of results, it is a law of transformation, a law that teaches us that what we offer to the world is exactly what we will receive in return. It is the universe's way of showing us that, through every act of giving, we are always compensated, not only with the material, but with the richness of the spirit, the warmth of connection, and the joy of knowing that every sacrifice made and every offering given is part of the grand, eternal exchange. A profound truth hums beneath everything: the law of gender. This universal law whispers that everything in existence embodies both masculine and feminine energies, regardless of form or identity. It is not bound by gender as we know it, but by an eternal dance of energies that shape all life, movement, creation, and destruction. The masculine energy is the force of action, strength, and direction. It is the energy of logic, structure, and focus, the unstoppable drive that propels us forward, making the impossible possible. The feminine energy, in contrast, is the force of intuition, nurturing, and flow. It is the energy of creativity, receptivity, and connection, the boundless potential that holds space for growth and transformation. In the universe, both energies exist within everything: the sun and the moon, the storm and the calm, the earth and the sky. And within each person, both energies weave their intricate patterns, waiting for balance and harmony. To understand the law of gender, we must first understand that the true power of life is found in the harmonious interplay of these energies. It is not about dominance or submission, nor about competition, but about creating a sacred union. Like two complementary forces, the masculine and feminine energies are not opposites, but partners in a greater dance of creation. When they are in harmony, there is peace. When they are out of balance, there is discord. In every person lies both the masculine and the feminine. The key to true fulfillment, to realizing our highest potential, is not in choosing one over the other, but in learning to cultivate both energies in ways that are aligned with our authentic self. The law of gender teaches us that we are at our most powerful when we allow both energies to flow freely within us. To balance the masculine and feminine energies within ourselves, we must first understand their unique qualities. Honoring the masculine. The masculine energy calls us to take action, to set goals, and to move forward with determination. It asks us to create structure in our lives, to step into leadership, and to protect what is valuable. But the masculine energy, when out of balance, can become rigid and controlling. We must learn to honor its strength, but also its vulnerability. True masculinity is not about dominance, but about the wisdom to know when to act and when to step back. Embracing the feminine energy calls us to flow, to receive, and to connect. It asks us to trust our intuition, to allow creativity to guide us, and to nurture ourselves and others. But the feminine energy, when out of balance, can become passive or overly dependent. We must learn to honor its wisdom, but also its courage. True femininity is not about passivity, but about the strength to embrace life with an open heart and an open mind. When we honor both energies, we begin to realize that we are not bound by external definitions or limitations. We are expansive beings, capable of both nurturing and action, both strength and sensitivity. We can be assertive and compassionate, determined and receptive, grounded and free. The universe itself is an embodiment of the law of gender, for all creation is born from the interplay of these energies. The birth of a new idea, the creation of art, the formation of relationships, the growth of nature, all are acts of combining masculine and feminine energies. One energy cannot exist without the other. Each is a reflection of the other, and together they bring about the full potential of life. To create, we must balance both forces within ourselves. We set the intention, masculine, but we must also trust in the flow and allow space for inspiration to arise, feminine. We take action, masculine, but we also listen and adapt, feminine. In this sacred dance, creation flows freely, and we become the co-creators of our own lives, weaving a tapestry that is both strong and beautiful. In every aspect of life, the law of gender calls us to dance. It is a dance between the heart and the mind, between intuition and logic, between stillness and motion. When we find this balance, we enter a state of alignment with ourselves, with others, and with the universe. It is in this harmony that we access the fullness of our potential, and in this balance, we find the peace and power to manifest our deepest desires. To honor the law of gender is to honor the sacredness of all things, the masculine and feminine energies, the sun and the moon, the fire and the water. Each is necessary, each is valuable, and when they come together, they create life itself. As we stand at the threshold of the universe, gazing into the intricate dance of the 12 universal laws, we realize that, though they are each distinct in their essence, they are woven together by an unseen thread, a thread that binds us all to the greater mystery of existence. Each law, with its unique rhythm and wisdom, guides the flow of life, moving through us, around us, and between us. Though their messages may differ, the laws all speak the same truth. We are connected. The law of attraction, the law of rhythm, the law of cause and effect. Each one offers a different lens through which we can view the world. Yet together they form a single, unified force. They remind us that everything we do, feel, think, and give ripples outward, shaping the universe in ways we may never fully understand. They are the foundation of all that is. And while they are deeply powerful in their impact, they also invite us to embrace the beauty of life's paradox, that even in our differences, there is harmony. The balance of masculine and feminine, the flow of giving and receiving, the stillness and the action. Each law teaches us to navigate the tension of life, to learn from both the light and the shadows, to find peace in the ebb and flow. These laws aren't just ancient truths, they are the living breath of the universe, moving through us every day. They offer us a way to align with the natural flow of existence, to manifest abundance, health, and love, and to create a life that reflects the infinite possibilities of our soul's deepest desires. And in doing so, we begin to understand the universe is not outside of us, but within us, constantly shifting, evolving, and reflecting the truths we carry inside. As we walk through life, guided by these laws, we remember we are both the creators and the creations. With every thought, every action, every intention, we are participating in the grand cosmic dance, a dance that shapes the world and in turn shapes us. And in that dance, we find not just answers, but the wisdom to ask the questions that lead us home. For in the end, it is not the laws themselves that hold power, but the way we choose to live by them, how we embrace their guidance, and how we allow them to reveal the magic of life in all its complexity, in all its simplicity. And as we surrender to their flow, we realize we are never separate from the universe. We are, in every moment, a living manifestation of its laws,